here, into which directory structure we should deploy the war package in Tomcat. We explored these, and in the we have few more discussions like we got to understand Nexus and SonarQube. So I'll give you an overview on SonarQube today. So friends, again, we have our sessions happening regularly effective Monday. As said, I'll take classes offline effective Monday. Okay, so effective Monday, I'll spend some good amount of time. We'll join the classes by 3:30 till 5 o'clock. And yeah, friends, so now let's get an overview of what is SonarQube and why is it important to do some code quality analysis with SonarQube. How to install SonarQube, I'll show you. But coming to reality, what we do is we install SonarQube as a plugin in Jenkins and perform our code quality checks, everything at Jenkins level through SonarQube plugin. Code quality is very, is done at a very high level, and yeah, we don't do things the way how we do in traditional approaches. Traditional approach meaning on a on a server, I install SonarQube, and at that SonarQube level, I run some commands and get my code validated. That is a traditional approach, but everything is automated in DevOps. So everything like yesterday, we deployed an artifact in Jenkins, in Tomcat by copying the artifact from one location to another location. Next, build process. We are doing a build process by jumping into our project, and there we are running some Maven command and performing a build. But when it comes to reality, things won't happen that way. Everything, all the activities we try to perform from Jenkins. We got a tool. It's like a central hub that does all the activities for us, right? So we should know what is what, and once done, we learn how to deal everything with a tool called Jenkins. This is called as a central CI tool, continuous integration tool. There are a lot of tools like Jenkins. We got Travis CI, Circle CI, and next we got Azure Pipeline, and Bamboo, and so on. Even with GitLab and different other tools, we can perform CI, continuous integration activities. So to perform build activities, you do through a CI tool. To perform deployment activities, you do through a CI tool. To do code quality checks, you do from a CI tool. Test automations, we do from a CI tool. So this way, everything we prefer to choose to do from CI tool. Likewise, SonarQube, we integrate all these tools here, like Maven, Nexus, SonarQube, Tomcat. We integrate all these tools together, right? So now we integrate all the tools together, but we should have some good understanding on how these tools work. And for that reason, what we're doing, we're learning each and everything tool by tool. But Maven is understood, Tomcat is understood. SonarQube also I'll teach you tool-wise, and Nexus, we don't need to learn again things from scratch, like how to install Nexus, how to do, how to preserve artifacts into Nexus. All those are not required. We dive into the actual discussions and Jenkins discussions, and integrate all the tools as plugins, and we perform things at Jenkins level. So for now, friends, let's explore let's explore this tool called SonarQube. SonarQube. What is SonarQube? A code quality check tool. Yeah, a code coverage or code quality checker tool. So if we go to the official site of SonarQube, let me just do it real quick. I'll jump to the official site of SonarQube. SonarQube. Let's go, and yeah, this is the site, sonarsource.com. Let's find what is this SonarQube tool. You can find here. Clean code for teams. and enterprises with SonarQube. So they are prioritizing more on code quality, clean and safer code for teams and enterprises with SonarQube. Why is it important to have a clean quality code? Why is it important to have a clean, safer, and quality code? Means any vulnerabilities in coding might impact, what say, the application's behavior in the future. So we have to make sure that any developer who writes code, he is abiding to the what say rules and regulations of that respected programming language or that respected platform. So, so friends, as we discussed earlier, when we are traveling, what we do, we follow a lot of rules, right? If I'm going on a car, traveling from one location to another location, it's not the case that I hit my accelerator at full, what say, to the end and drive my car so rash. I am when I'm in what say in the society, I have to follow some rules and regulations, adapt those rules and regulations to be a good citizen. If at all I don't do that, what happens? I might end up in jail and my future might get what's it collapsed. Likewise, when developers write code, if they are driven towards the goal at getting the result, but not following the rules, that sort of code should not be evaluated. That sort of code should not be accepted. So in programming terms, we have what say there are some constraints or there are some rules or some best practices programmers should follow. What are they? No hard coding, no hard coding, no code duplication, sir. Right? Next, should not use loops. Should not use loops that are infinite. Looping, meaning a program should some logic should end at some point of time. Loop should not be infinite. Likewise, there are a lot of rules like the variables, variable names should not be the predefined keywords. So this way, since we are not into programming, I'm not explaining all of them. Variable names should not be the what say predefined keywords. So this way, there are a lot of rules for programmers. If you are from programming background, any program like C or C++ or Java, what you do if you write some program, let's say int space a is equal to 10, this is valid. But if you go with int space if is equal to 10, it's not valid because if is a what say keyword that is defined that is predefined for some functionality, right? Likewise, int space a salary is equal to, let's say, some 10,000. This is accepted, right? This is accepted. But if you say int space for is equal to 10,000, it's not accepted because these keywords, there are some 32 or 52 keywords in Java, which are reserved for some activities. We are not supposed to use them as variable names. Likewise, no code duplications, meaning if a developer is writing some code and the code should print, let's say, for example, my name 10 times, system.out.println, and I say, hello, Prashant. Now, I should not write this since I want this my name to be printed 10 times. If I go add the code this way, this is not a clean code. This is not a clean code. I have to use some looping here to make sure that the statement is added only once, but what say it is repeated during the time of execution. It is printed 10 times. Meaning there are looping concepts like for loop, while loop. Using those, I have to reduce my programming programming effort here, right? No hard coding. You should not do hard coding, something like this. Variables should not be defined with predefined keywords. So this way, there are around 600 plus rules in Java. Java programming law, around 600 plus rules on it. ఆ రూల్స్ అన్ని ఫాలో అవుతూ డెవలపర్ కోడ్ రాసాడా, డెవలపర్ అనేవాడు అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్ చేసాడా లేదా మనం చెక్ చేయాలి. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్స్ ఏ కోడ్ క్వాలిటీ చెక్. అండ్ ఆ కోడ్ క్వాలిటీ చెక్ కి మనకి ఉన్న టూల్ వచ్చేసి సోనార్ క్యూబ్. దేర్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ టూల్స్, కోడ్ కవరేజ్ టూల్స్ మనకి చాలా ఉన్నాయి. కోడ్ క్వాలిటీ టూల్స్ ఇఫ్ యూ గో, దేర్ ఆర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ అదర్ టూల్స్ అవైలబుల్ టు. సో చూడండి ఇక్కడ మనకి సే పీవీఎస్ స్టూడియో, సోనార్ క్యూబ్, క్యూబికల్, రైట్, కొడాసి, ఇట్లా డిఫరెంట్ టూల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అండ్ వై వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ సోనార్ క్యూబ్ as a tool? Yeah, why we use Sonar Cube as a tool? Ante, yes, it's proven, it's open source, it is written in Java, right? Marla, same, we discussed yesterday. What's say the tool Tomcat is written in Java, Maven is written in Java. Likewise, Sonar Cube is written in Java, right? And it was started as an open source tool. And earlier, SonarCube was a tool for validating only Java-based projects. Java code matrame, Java code quality check cheyadam kosam matrame SonarCube was developed. But later they expanded their wings, and now it is a tool that supports around 30 plus programming languages. So 30 plus languages lo meer rase code, whether the code is according to the coding standards or not, SonarCube analyzes, produces a report, and based on the report, developers should rework on their source code. Okay, so if even you can add your own rules based on your business requirement. If you want to add rules, SonarCube ఏం చేస్తుందంటే it collects all the rules from different programming languages, and make sure that when you write some code, when you have some code, when you try to check that code with SonarCube identifies whether the code is abided to those respected rules or not. Okay, so very simple. This is evaluation tool అనుకోండి. It just evaluates whether the code you have written is according to the coding standards or not. Application behavior ని SonarCube analyze చేయట్లేదు, test చేయట్లేదు. It just tests, looks for the source code, whether it is written according to the standards or not. Yeah, remember. So now, if we look into the architecture of SonarCube architecture, how SonarCube evaluates the source code, if we try to have a look at, this is how SonarCube evaluates the source code. Let me take this image to a new window, open image in new tab. Yeah. Oops. Docs.sonarcube.org. Okay. Sorry, page not found out. Why? I think the site is under maintenance. Okay. Yeah, this is one good diagram to explain things, friends. No problem. I'll take another one. Let's go with this one. Okay, let's go with this one. Yeah, okay, friends. Let me take it a simple one. Okay, this one. Yeah, let's go with this image, friends. It's Russian language, I think. Oops. This one, friends. So let me open a new tab. So just have a look. So how SonarCube does the code quality check. So any programmers here, friends? Anyone from programming background, Java or C or C++? Have you written any programs in other languages? Yes, no. అట్లీస్ట్ చిన్న ఐడియా కోసం ఎప్పుడైనా ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ రాస్తున్నారా? Maybe in your academics or so.
Yes.
Yeah. So now let's say if you are asked to write a program, a Java program, what you do? We have a different IDEs available, integrated development environments available. What is an IDE? So friends, let's say notepad తీసుకున్నానండి. ఇక్కడ నేను ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నా, some Java program. So public class student, right? And ఇక్కడ public static void main and string array of args. When I'm typing something here, everything is appearing blank, meaning just the data, whatever I'm typing, the data is getting added. But coming to an IDE, it has some intelligence where it identifies what sort of data are we typing, in which language are we typing, and it tries to give us some prompts down below. And మీరు పబ్లిక్ అని స్టార్ట్ చేయగానే కింద you get a prompt like class student, likewise when you're missing on something like string, ikkada s lower case lo type chesaru anukondi, immediately you find an error pointing out you did some mistake here, like that. So IDEs, we got different IDEs for different programming languages. Eclipse IDE for Java based projects, right? PyCharm for Python based projects, right? Atom text editor only. And there are different text editors and IDEs for different programming languages. So now if I open, let's say Notepad++, and try to do the same here, let's say over here, public class and example. Let me save it as Java file first. So example.java. So but immediately Notepad++ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే it identifies, okay, this is a Java based program, or this file is a Java based file. So now whatever I type, see friends, now you can find the color variation here. Public class and keywords, example and class name. Now here again, if I say public, see before I'm typing, immediately I'm getting a prompt down below. Public static void main and string array of args. So when I'm typing string, immediately I'm getting all string related stuff related to Java. String related functions and kind of populate type of string array args, and then again a curly brace, public system dot out dot print line and hello world antunna. And now if I hit enter, close the brackets, inka other advanced manaki una text editors, or sorry, IDEs ఏం చేస్తాయంటే they throw an error here that you haven't added semicolon. If you add system s in lowercase, immediately it the systems throw errors. So now we have SonarQube as a tool to identify ఎవరైనా developer mistakes చేస్తే in coding. SonarQube identifies the code and gives us information that this code has missing, this code is missing some, some functionalities, something like that. So after, getting to SonarQube and then evaluating the code and then getting the error response. అంటే ఇది వరకు ఒక కోడ్ క్వాలిటీ చెక్ కి వెళ్ళి డెవలపర్ రాసిన ప్రోగ్రామ్ అక్కడ ఎర్రర్స్ ఐడెంటిఫై చేసే బదులు, what happens is we got a tool called Sonar Lint. ప్రతి IDE లో కూడా మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే we add some tool called Sonar Lint. ఈ Sonar Lint అనే టూల్ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే it updates the developers when they are writing code right away. నేను ఇక్కడ when I'm writing a program, you saw how the prompts are falling. ఇట్లా మనకి నేను ఏదైనా టైప్ చేస్తుంటే immediately I'm getting some prompts, right? So likewise, when a developer writes source code, ఈ Sonar Lint అనే టూల్ అతను ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకుని ఉంటే in his IDE, a plugin, when he is writing program within maybe Eclipse or Eclipse or some other IDEs, right at that moment only Sonar Lint scans his code and gives an update. Somewhere ఇక్కడ నువ్వు మిస్టేక్ చేస్తున్నావు అని చెప్పి the plugin sonar lint plugin updates him right at that very moment. Okay, so sonar lint and a tool mostly used by developers to check during the runtime of their code only. When they're writing the code itself, is sonar lint and a tool it identifies whether developers are writing code according to the standards or not. However, what happens, sometimes we overrule, right? Sometimes we overcome. So you can think of this sonar lint as let's say your car speedometer. ఎంత కార్ స్పీడోమీటర్ ఉన్నా ఎంత వాట్స్ మనకి తెలుస్తున్న what speed we are traveling. At times what happens, when the roads are open, we may hit the accelerator, we may cruise at 100 120s and so on. And if we want to travel, let's say in 80s only, but still what happens at times we take advantage of the roads and we keep going forward, breaking our breaking the barrier what we set. 80 kilometers per hour but we are traveling now 120, right? Likewise, now even though there is sonar lint, developers they overlook and they write their code which might hold some errors. So that error is data. What should we do? We have to make sure that that those errors are captured. So for doing that, we evaluate the code. So code analysis, how we do through something called SonarCube scanners. అంటే డెవలపర్ అనేవాడు కోడ్ రాశాడు, కోడ్ రాసిన తర్వాత that code you have to perform a build on it. Now on a build, whatever the source code is built, on that build, now SonarCube should perform a code quality check. ఒక artifact generate అయిపోయిందండి build server లో. On that artifact, a code quality check should happen. So for doing that, we had another concept, another component called a sonar scanner. Sonar scanner. This is a tool that that identifies the errors in your source code written by developer. And what it does, it updates all those error information, all that error information to a main SonarCube server. So ఇక్కడ మీరు కంప్యూట్ ఇంజిన్, సెర్చ్ సర్వర్, వెబ్ సర్వర్, సోనార్ ప్లస్ SonarCube plugins, ఈ బాక్స్ చూస్తున్నారు కదా, this is the actual SonarCube server where all the evaluated code, all the error information on that evaluated code is updated to. A code quality anta kuda analyze ayi, all that information is updated to this main server. And this main server, it has a it got a web server and it publishes the report. ఇక్కడ ఈ SonarCube server ఏం చేస్తుందంటే on the evaluated code or the scanned code, SonarCube publishes a report. That report is published in two formats. One is in PDF format and the other one is in HTML format. So our reports generated in tarvata, all the data related to those reports is written to a SonarCube database, and a compute engine here prepares the report. Any errors rasadu developer based on the code, based on the code quality checks present in SonarCube. SonarCube evaluates and generates a report, and that report is published back to the developer. అట్లాగే ఇక్కడ ఒక సెర్చ్ సర్వర్ కూడా ఉంటుందండి to find quick searches within that web page. So once the report is published, now developers, what do? They identify వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడ errors రాశారు, where the code quality went wrong. They analyze, and what do? They rework on their source code, and again they upload a new version of the source code to GitHub. Once they upload the new version of source code to GitHub, again we download that code, we perform a build. On that build, again a code quality check as Sonar scanner runs, identifies if there are any challenges. Again, those challenges are published as a result at SonarCube server level. Okay, so this is the process. This is a complete process that keeps on happening over and over and over again until the point, the SonarCube tool identifies no errors within the source code. Okay, so this example or this diagram gives us more overview than this one. Actually, diagram and the first one, this one gives us more overview. Let me try to get this image, but the site is down.
Prashant,
Yeah,
నేను శ్రీధర్.
Yes,
So
Sridhar.
యాక్చువల్లీ ఎప్పుడు ఈ సోనార్ క్యూబ్ అనేది ఎప్పుడు మనకు వర్క్ చేయడం మొదలు పెడుతుంది? బికాస్ డెవలపర్ అనేవాడు కోడ్ రాసిన తర్వాత తను డెవ్ టెస్టింగ్ యూనిట్ టెస్టింగ్ చేసుకున్నాకనే కదా
True.
గిట్ హబ్ లోకి డేటా పుష్ చేసేది.
Yeah.
సో when he is doing unit testing or dev testing, I mean syntax errors, compilation errors, those will be solved by him itself, right?
True, that is
Quality,
right.
yeah, quality check means I mean the code quality that was written in low quality, or instead of using high level language, if the developer used low level language or syntaxes, that will found by the sonar cube, or I mean, what is the quality check actually?
Not only that, Sridhar, code quality check, developers chase unit tests and they are just to identify within their within their premises. Now let's say multiple developers, they have written some source code. Not only one developer, developer A, developer B, developer C, and all of them, they integrated their code at GitHub level. Now, can we guarantee that all these developers crossed their code quality check and uploaded quality code to GitHub? You cannot, right? Maybe some developer might have pushed code in the fly without performing any tests.
Okay.
So that is where on the overall application, we have to perform tests, identifying whether the code quality is met, quality criteria is met or not. So for that, we got this tool, and now let's say, if we go with SonarCube rules for Java, so there are a lot of rules which are imposed at SonarCube level for different programming languages. And వీళ్ళు కొన్ని rules identify చేశారండి, and they made them available. This is their profile, Sonar profile, where there are a lot of rules just for Java. See, 650 rules in there. See, credentials should not be hard coded, meaning if at all the application interacts with some database or so, the database credentials should not be hard coded, meaning that database username, password at add IP and the program flow. Instead, they should follow some other approach. Components should not be vulnerable to intent redirection. HTTP responses should not be vulnerable. So this way, there are different rules, right? There are different rules. Actually, SonarCube categorizes your errors as four different groups: vulnerabilities, bugs, security hotspot, and code smells. These are the four categories into which SonarCube actually arranges, does scan on your code and arranges the data into these four categories: vulnerabilities, bugs, security hotspots, and code smells. So if there is some vulnerability, what should happen? A developer should fix it to the earliest. Likewise, a bug, security hotspot, or a code smell. So what are these? We'll see in the going forward. We'll try to understand. So now, these are the rules imposed, which are imposed by Java community. And if you want all these rules to be applied to your source code, you can do that. Or if you don't want all the rules, only some of the rules you want to apply and check whether your developer has written the code according to the standards or not, you can do that. You can again customize something called a profile here, SonarCube profile. And like different languages, like if we go with the Go language, see there are around 38 rules. COBOL, around 182 rules. Docker, CSS, for some 25 rules are present. Docker, 8 rules, right? Likewise, Java only, we got around 650 rules, out of which 55 are identified as vulnerabilities. Bugs chudandi, bugs enti, Spring Boot applications and component scan should not be used in the default package. Maybe we are not into development, so we don't know what is that. So let's say over here, I'll check for duplication. Code duplication, let's say duplication. So maybe in bugs, I think we don't have. Let's check in all rules and let's search for duplication. Let's search. See friends, over here, we got some rules. Consecutive asset J asset, the statement should be chained. Method should not have identical implementation. So over here, we find that there are some rules where you're not supposed to add the same duplicate code over and over again. Methods kani, you're not supposed to create the same methods over and over again or call them over and over again. Code duplications, I think missing on something here. Let's go with say array index. Anything about array index? Yeah, again, some rules related to arrays. So array string should be used for primitive arrays only. And yeah, ఇవన్నీ తెలియాలంటే కొంచెం మనకి ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ టచ్ ఉండాలండి. So there are rules for just let's keep things simple. There are rules imposed by Java coding, Java community, and SonarCube just validates whether your code is according to the standards or not. Of course, as Sridhar said, developers do their unit checks and find whether they're writing the code according to the standards or not. Mostly IDEs, integrated development environments, say developers will drive chestayi, like whether they are writing code, they're picking correct what's a method or not, are they following the syntax issues or not. Everything are updated by IDEs themselves. But at times, what happens is developers might overlook those. And when we are working on projects where multiple developers write source code and integrate as a project, now we have to make sure that every developer has uploaded a quality code to GitHub. So to ensure that on an overall product, we have to identify whether the code quality criteria is met or not. So for that, we use SonarCube as a tool, right? And SonarCube, there are multiple components of SonarCube, like a Sonar scanner that performs what's a code quality check, generates all the what's a vulnerabilities or whatever bugs, whatever are identified, pushes all that information to a SonarCube server. SonarCube server has a component. What it does, it processes all that received information, adds that information to a database, and publishes the report as a HTML document or a PDF document. Once the report is generated, now developers, what should they do? They are notified. These are the bugs. These are the challenges. These are the security hotspots. Or these are the vulnerabilities in your code. Now, based on the report generated, developers should rework, correct their code, evaluate their code, and again push the code to GitHub. So SonarCube, again saying, it's not performing what's say application test. It is performing what's say the code quality checks only, right? And now, friends, how to find or how to do things with SonarCube, how to get started off with SonarCube. To understand, let's go to the site console.aws.amazon.com. I'll show you how to install SonarCube. Installation process teliste chalu, but we are not going to what's say do things with us on a standalone application. ఈ SonarCube యాక్టివిటీస్ అన్ని కూడా మనం జెంకిన్స్ లో ఒక ప్లగిన్ లైన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తామండి SonarCube, and on that we do things. Okay, so I got a controller machine. Let me connect to it. Connect and copy this command. Open git bash. Enter. Okay, let me add the password. You. Clear. Yeah. So how to install SonarCube? So unlike other tools, friends, we installed so far, sudo apt install and Java or Maven or Tomcat install చేసాం. But coming to SonarCube, you got to install SonarCube in a different fashion. How? Let's find out. SonarCube installation. Let's go to SonarCube installation and try out SonarCube. Let's click this link. And here, friends, to install SonarCube, what happens is first you got to download a zip file. Of course, SonarCube is available as a Docker container too. That is advanced, Docker discussions, we'll find that. So first we got to download SonarCube as a zip file. So what to do? You can find here, there is a path given on Windows, C drive SonarCube, Windows x86, run sonar.bat. Or on other operating systems, we got to go with adding that zip file into OPT directory and run sonar.sh. Okay. So let me go get this zip file. Where is this zip file present? Let's find. Installing SonarCube. ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడో ఉంటుందండి మనకి say the to download SonarCube. Are they maintaining the site or what? SonarCube. Download SonarCube. Yeah, let's go to the site here. Yeah, over here, friends. Yeah. So there are different versions of SonarCube available. You can find Community Edition, Developer Edition, Enterprise, Data Center Edition. So Developer, Enterprise, and Data Center, they are chargeable. And we go with Community Edition, which is free. So for Community Edition, SonarCube support is for around 19 languages. Okay, and it detects bugs and vulnerabilities. Advanced versions low, some more additional features could ఉంటాయండి because we are paying there. So for now, I'll just go with a download for free, and a zip file is getting downloaded onto my Windows machine. But I don't want it to be downloaded on my Windows. I want to install SonarCube on my Linux server here. So wget command to download something from the internet, wget and add this URL, enter. Now what's happening? A zip file is downloaded. SonarCube zip file, this one is downloaded. Now what should you do? You have to copy this or bring this zip file to root directory. There is a directory called OPT. We have to get SonarCube there. Okay, so cp SonarCube to, let's say, /OPT directory, enter. Now what happens is we're getting permission denied. And the OPT directory key, there is no right permission to other users. So now what should I do? Let me switch to root user, sudo su, and say cp sonarcube.sh zip file to /OPT, enter. As a root user, it is possible though, so file is written. Let's jump to cd to opt directory. Cd to root directory opt. And now over here we find already SonarCube zip file is added. We got to extract this zip file. So how to extract a zip file? Unzip command. Unzip sonar.sh, sonar.zip. And what's happening? Unzip command ledu machine though. So let's install it. apt install unzip. And yes, now the file is unzipped. Say okay. Yeah, friends, what happened? The file is unzipped. Sorry, unzip is installed. Now we got to unzip it. So unzip sonarcube.zip file. And the entire zip file is getting unzipped. Okay, so let's find out. A zip file extract type in there. This is the directory. Now what I do is I'll remove this zip file, not required anymore, star.zip. Likewise, I'll rename this directory, mv command SonarCube directory as SonarCube. Just a directory name, simple ga pettukundamu, SonarCube, right? Now cd into this SonarCube directory. ls command. This is the directory structure of SonarCube. Copying bin conf data, some directories in them. Elasticsearch undi. So one thing to remember, friends, when your application has a search engine, you cannot start your application as a root user. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, ఇది ఒక రూల్. మీరు ఎలా గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటారో తెలియదు కానీ when your applications got a search engine, you cannot perform or you cannot start those applications as what's a root user. So I want to run SonarQube. So how to run SonarQube means cd into a directory called bin ls command. Here you find the Linux operating system. The operating system we are running, or we opened or extracted this SonarQube is Linux, right? So let's cd into Linux x86-64, and here you find a shell file sonar.sh. This is the file you have to invoke and start SonarQube. This is the file. This is the script you have to run. Okay. And before we're running it, let's go back and let's jump to conf directory, cd into conf and ls command. Here we got a file called sonar.properties. Let's open it. Vim sonar.properties and no, friends, I think this is not required for now. Ippude kadalandi, idi tarvata manaki use అవుతుంది. Not right away. Let me just quit it. Maybe I think in Nexus lo manam oka chinna setting change cheyalsi untundi conf directory, not for SonarQube. Okay, so now remember, to get started off with SonarQube, all you have to do is cd into bin directory, cd into Linux x86-64 directory. Here you find sonar.sh and you have to run the script. Okay, sh space sonar.sh or meeku telisina command ./sonar.sh relative path. Once you run the command, what should happen? SonarQube should start. But one more thing, you have to pass a command line argument here. We got to pass a command line argument like sonar.sh lo manaki there, if you read the file, let's say cat sonar.sh, just have a look, friends. It's a file with some case what's a statement included. See case 0, right? Atlage ikkada meeru kindaki velte you find again a case example where it expects what's a start or stop from you. So చూడండి ఇక్కడ కేస్ $1 in console start అని అడగను, అప్పుడే స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది SonarQube. Stop అంటే SonarQube will stop. So you have to pass an argument $1, as you know, it's a very first command line argument. So when you run your script, you have to add some you got to add some command line argument, either start or stop or something else, restart and so on. sh space sonar.sh, and if you run this command, you are asked to run or you are asked to choose some of the command line argument. Em cheyamantavu? Console, you want to get to the console, or start or stop? What do you want me to do? That's what the script is asking you back. If you want to start SonarQube, then what to do? sh space sonar.sh space start. You got to give a command line argument start. And once we hit enter, now what's happening here? You can find here starting SonarQube and started SonarQube. SonarQube is started. But if you, it says started, but it's actually not started, friends. ఇక్కడ మనకు started అని కనిపిస్తుంది కానీ it's not started. To understand again, sh space sonar.sh status అన్నాం అనుకోండి. See what is it saying? SonarQube is not running. Why is it not running? Because as said before, SonarQube got an Elasticsearch. When the application has an Elasticsearch, you're not supposed to run it as a root user. So make sure that you exit out of root user and run the command again. You have to run the script again as a normal user. So let's cd into /opt directory, cd into SonarQube directory, cd into bin directory, cd into Linux x86-64 directory. Here we are, sonar.sh. Now what to do? Again, if I want to start SonarQube, I go with sh space sonar.sh space start. Let's find out now SonarQube gets started or not. We're getting error, permission denied, logs no hub.log, and cannot create some log file. Okay, very good. sh space sonar.sh start. Where is it saying cannot create in ./sonarcube.pid? Okay, so opt sonarcube ikkada some file creation ki error vastundi. No problem. Let's bypass that just by adding what say some write permission to sonarcube directory to Ubuntu user. Okay, so for this sonarcube directory, opt directory, let's find ls -l command. For opt directory, there's only read and execute to other users, no write permission. So cd into opt, and what I do is on the directory sonarcube, sudo chmod a plus w, or let's go with o plus w on sonarcube. Only on that directory, no, chmod -r on all the subcontent. Every file I want to give write permission. So now let's cd into sonarcube again, cd into what's a bin directory, cd into linux x86-64, and now let's start sh space sonar.sh space start. Now see friends, sonarcube is started, right? Let's confirm it, sh sonar.sh status, and just have a look. Oh wow, what is it saying? Sonarcube is not running. Even now it's not running. Oops. Removed stale PID file ./sonarcube.pid. Okay. Again, just give a try. Sonarcube is started. Then what's the problem? Let's go with it's not running. Oh, wow. /user/bin user bin java remote stale process id file ./sonarcube.pid. Should find sonarcube running, friends. As a regular user, it is possible for you to run. So user bin java. What version of Java did I install? Yeah, friends, one more thing we have to keep in mind. For sonarcube, you got to go with one particular version of Java.
ప్రశాంత్ గారు ఇప్పుడు మొత్తం మనం ఈ నల్ల స్క్రీన్ చూసే బతకాలనా డెవాప్స్ క్లాస్లలో?
లేదండి, మోస్ట్లీ ఇన్స్టాలేషన్స్ వీటిలో చూస్తాము. అండ్
అంటే ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ అయినప్పటి నుంచి అసలు వైట్ స్క్రీనే చూడలేదు. మనకి ఏం యాప్స్ ఉండయా వైట్ స్క్రీన్ యాప్స్?
ఉంటాయండి, మీరు కావాలి ఇది మార్చుకోవచ్చు. యూ కెన్ చేంజ్ ఇట్.
అట్లా ఇది వైట్ స్క్రీన్ అని కాదండి, అప్లికేషన్ లాగా ఏమి ఉండదా డెవాప్స్ లో?
ఉంటుంది. జెంకిన్స్ అంతా కూడా మీకు యూఐఏ కదా. జెంకిన్స్, ఈవెన్ సోనార్ క్యూబ్ మీకు వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ వస్తుంది. వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ లోనే మీరు యాక్సెస్ అంతా చేస్తారు. డోంట్ గెట్ డిస్ట్రాక్టెడ్ విత్ దిస్. డాకర్ కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు కూడా మనకి డాకర్, ఇఫ్ యూ విష్ టు యూ హ్యావ్ అ డెస్క్టాప్ వెర్షన్ ఆఫ్ డాకర్. అలాగే ప్రతి టూల్ కి కూడా యూఐ కూడా ఉంది, యూఐ సపోర్ట్ కూడా ఉంది. బట్ వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ ఇస్ యూ ఫైండ్ మోర్ వాట్స్ ఏ ప్రొడక్టివ్ హియర్. మీరు చేసే యాక్టివిటీస్ ఇక్కడ కమాండ్స్ రూపంలో చేసేది మోర్ ప్రొడక్టివ్ గా ఉంటుంది, రాదర్ దాన్ డూయింగ్ థింగ్స్ విత్ వాట్స్ ఏ GUI.
ఓకే.
స్టేటస్ ఏంటండి, రన్ అవ్వట్లేదా? I think fine. This server here, already this server is equipped with a lot of things. And my Ansible control, చాలా అప్లికేషన్స్ ఆల్రెడీ నేను కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయడం, డిలీట్ చేయడం, సంథింగ్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ వర్కింగ్ ఫర్ మీ. బట్ యూ గివ్ అ ట్రై అట్ యువర్ ఎండ్. సోనార్ క్యూబ్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్ ఏం లేదండి, జస్ట్ వాట్ యూ డూ, యూ స్పిన్ అప్ అ సర్వర్ అట్ AWS cloud level. ఒక EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ తీసుకోండి. Yeah, again, take this as a quick assignment. You take an EC2 instance, and what you do, install Java first. Install Java. Which version of Java to install? Let's find out. Java SonarCube scanners require version 8 or 11 of the JVM, and SonarCube server requires version 11. So no problem. With Java installation in sudo apt get install -y default -jdk. ఈ కమాండ్ రన్ చేస్తే మీకు జావా వర్షన్ 11 ఇన్స్టాల్ అవుతుంది. Once Java is installed, then what should you do? cd into /opt directory. You got to jump to /opt directory. And within this opt directory, now what should you do again? The opt directory loki, you have to download SonarCube application. So this one, ఈ site కు వెళ్తారు, sonarsource.com product SonarCube downloads. You got to get this URL. ఈ download for free అనే URL select చేసుకొని bring that and include it over here. cd opt and you say wget and download this zip file. ఈ zip file download చేసిన తర్వాత install sudo apt install unzip what's a package install చేసుకొని you have to unzip and sonar.zip file. Once the file is unzipped, then what to do? Friends? Once the entire thing is unzipped, cd into SonarCube directory, cd into bin directory, cd into Linux x86-64 either directory on the and then cd into there you find sonar.sh file, and all you do is sh sonar.sh space start. E command raster. So if anyone's willing to just take a snapshot of this mobile of a photo తీసుకోండి, just take a picture and try to implement it at your end. Since we are not connecting tomorrow, మనం ఎలాగ రేపు కనెక్ట్ అవ్వట్లేదు కాబట్టి just give a try on installing SonarCube at your end. Okay, so I'll show you the same in the session on Monday. ఇక్కడ problem ఏంటంటే I have multiple versions of what's a Java installed and multiple configurations I already made on this Ansible controller. మళ్ళీ ఈ సర్వర్ రీస్టార్ట్ చేయడం ఏదో చేయాలండి, so that then only SonarCube runs on my machine. Okay, so just give a try doing this. If we are able to successfully install SonarCube, well and good. మీరు అప్పుడు ఏం చేయొచ్చంటే you can go to port number I think 9090 or 9000. What is SonarCube's default port? I think it's a 9000. Yeah, 9000. 9000 port. And మీరు ఒక బ్రౌజర్ ఓపెన్ చేసి if you reach on port 9000, you get the UI of SonarCube. And there you log in with your credentials, admin, username admin, password admin, and you're connected to your SonarCube application. Yep. So just give a try. We'll continue again in the session on Monday. Ivalti session, just a quick overview on SonarCube. And we bring all these discussions together, friends. Once we get started off with Jenkins, we get all these discussions under one hood. Jenkins though, ఈ tools అన్నిటిని ఎలా integrate చేసి how to perform our software development to delivery activities is what we should master. Yeah. So take this, friends. Just take a note of this, the steps here which I have written, and give a try at your end. And once done, you can leave for the day, and we'll continue again in the session on Monday.
Prashant garu, this is Sridhar.
Yeah, Sridhar. చెప్పండి Sridhar.
యాక్చువల్లీ నేను AWS అకౌంట్ ఒక 6 months నుంచి ఆపరేట్ చేస్తున్నా అండి. సో ఐ టేకెన్ ఫ్రీ అకౌంటే తీసుకున్నాను, కాకపోతే అది నాకు బిల్ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది. ఒక 4 months నుంచి నేను బిల్ కడతా ఉన్నా దానికి. అన్నిసార్లు EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ టర్మినేట్ చేసిన సర్వర్స్ అన్ని రిమూవ్ చేసినా గానీ అది అలానే అవుతుంది. ఏం మిస్ అయిందో నాకు అర్థం కావట్లేదు అందులో.
అంటే మీరు మేబీ అదర్ రీజన్స్ లో ఎక్కడైనా క్రియేట్ చేస్తారేమో చూడండి.
అవును, అది వర్జీనియా రీజియన్ లో నేను టెస్టింగ్ చేస్తాను.
ఓకే, మరలా ముంబై రీజియన్ లో కానీ లేదా ఒహాయో ఇంకా వేరే రీజియన్స్ లో ఏమైనా బై మిస్టేక్ సర్వర్స్ క్రియేట్ అయినాయేమో కూడా ఒకసారి చూడండి.
ఓకే, అది సస్పెండ్ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు బిల్ జనరేట్ అయింది, సస్పెండ్ అయిపోతుంది. మళ్ళీ బిల్ పే చేసిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ యాక్టివేట్ అవుతుంది.
నో ప్రాబ్లం అండి, బిల్స్ ఏం కట్టద్దు మీరు. జస్ట్ ఇఫ్ నాట్ గో విత్ న్యూ అకౌంట్. ఓకే
ఓకే ఓకే అండి,
సస్పెండ్ అయిపోతాయి, ఏం ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే అండి, థ్యాంక్స్.
So friends, Just either screenshot తీసుకోండి మీ group లో పెట్టుకోండి so that everyone gets to know what should they do, and I'll show you a solution in the session on Monday. Okay, yeah, Monday onwards session timings are 3:30 to 5 friends. ఇది కూడా ఒకసారి group లో update ఇచ్చేసేయండి అందరికి. 3:30 to 5 online and offline. Yeah, fine friends, so let's take a pause for now and continue again the session on Monday. Yeah. Thank you, happy weekend.
Thank you, Krish.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.